Did you know that taking your blood pressure pill at the wrong time could leave you unprotected during the very hours your body needs help most? I'm Dr. Alina Saracia, and today I want to clear up one of the biggest myths I hear from adults over 60. The secret is not that everyone should take every blood pressure pill at night. The real secret is that timing must match your medicine, your body, and the time you can take it consistently. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will know what questions to ask, what mistakes to avoid, and when bedtime dosing may help. Comment below with the time you currently take your blood pressure pill. I will be replying to each one. Research shows high blood pressure is still one of the biggest health threats facing older adults. CDC data from 2024 found that 71.6% of adults age 60 and older have hypertension. Research shows nearly half of all U.S. adults have high blood pressure, yet only about 1 in 4 have it under control. That matters because high blood pressure often stays silent for years. You can feel normal while extra force keeps pushing against your artery walls, like water hammering an old garden hose. Now, this is important. When the hose gets stiff, pressure rises faster and damage builds quietly. Here's what happens when blood pressure stays high around the clock. Your heart has to squeeze harder. Your kidneys filter under stress. Tiny blood vessels in your brain take repeated hits. The National Institute on Aging calls hypertension a silent killer because many people feel no warning signs at all. But here's the shocking part: most seniors don't know. The problem is not only how high your blood pressure is. The pattern matters too. Blood pressure usually dips during sleep and rises before waking. If that night dip never comes, or if the morning rise is too sharp, risk can climb even when clinic numbers look decent. Research shows some older adults have what doctors call a non-dipping pattern. That simply means blood pressure does not fall enough at night. Think of it as a car engine that never fully idles. It keeps burning hot when it should be resting. Studies found that nighttime pressure often predicts trouble better than daytime office readings. Stay with me, because this is where timing enters the story. If your medicine is weakest when your body is under the most strain, you may have a gap in protection. But here's the shocking part. For many people, the fix is not a stronger dose. It is better timing, better monitoring, and fewer timing mistakes. Research shows blood pressure timing is an active research area, not a settled rule. A 2023 American Heart Association review of 72 randomized trials found bedtime dosing can lower nighttime readings, but much of the dramatic cardiovascular benefit came from one research group. A 2025 JAMA trial in Canadian primary care randomized 3,357 adults and found bedtime dosing was safe, yet did not lower the combined risk of death, stroke, acute coronary syndrome, or heart failure compared with morning dosing. That is why I want you to think like a detective, not a gambler. We use symptoms, home readings, medication type, and safety clues to find your pattern. Research shows high blood pressure was a primary or contributing cause of 664,470 deaths in the United States in 2023, according to CDC data. But here's the shocking part. Many people still wait for symptoms before taking it seriously. Here's what happens when that delay continues. Arteries stiffen further, the heart muscle thickens, kidneys lose filtering power, and memory can suffer over time. You may not notice one bad day, but your organs feel the load every hour. Comment steady action if you are ready to start tracking this week. The next mistake is the one I see in otherwise careful patients every single month. One more clue matters. If you wake with headaches, ankle swelling, or bathroom trips that ease later in the day, write that down too. Symptoms plus numbers give your clinician a far clearer day-to-day picture than memory alone. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 72-year-old patient whose name I changed for privacy. She took her pill every morning with toast and tea because that was what she had always been told to do. Her office readings looked fair, but she woke with headaches, a pounding heartbeat, and heavy eyes almost every day. Over months, she stopped walking early with her sister. She became afraid of mornings. She thought aging was stealing her energy. Margaret tried to push through it. She drank more coffee. She rested after breakfast. She even skipped a few morning walks because she felt shaky when she stood up. Emotionally, it wore her down. She told me she felt old before noon. Here's what happens when symptoms keep repeating without an explanation. People shrink their lives to fit the symptom. Margaret stopped gardening before breakfast. She avoided driving early. Her world got smaller. When we reviewed her readings at home, the pattern finally showed up. Her morning numbers were much higher than her afternoon numbers. Because she was taking a long-acting medicine, not a water pill, we discussed a supervised switch to evening dosing with careful monitoring. She was skeptical. She asked, "Can changing 1 hour really matter that much?" Within 2 weeks, her morning headaches faded. Within 1 month, she was back to her dawn walks. Her average early morning systolic reading dropped by 12 points, and her confidence came back with it. Comment morning headaches if you've experienced this. Let me know your age as well. Before I reveal what can help, let's talk about what makes this problem worse. The first trap is taking your pill at different times every day. Here's what happens when Monday's dose is at 7 a.m., Tuesdays is at noon, and Wednesdays is after dinner. Drug levels rise and fall unevenly. Your body never gets a stable rhythm. Research shows consistency matters because blood pressure medicine works best when the body can count on a steady pattern. But here's the shocking part most people don't know. Even when you never miss a pill, irregular timing can still create unprotected windows. The second trap is taking a diuretic, also called a water pill, too late in the day. Here's what happens when you take a medicine that makes you urinate close to bedtime. You wake repeatedly, sleep breaks apart, and you may rush to the bathroom in the dark. For seniors, that can increase dizziness and fall risk. This is why older advice about morning dosing began in the first place. Many early blood pressure drugs were water pills. That old rule still matters for many diuretics, but not for every medication. Most seniors don't know that the advice depends on the drug class. The third trap is changing timing on your own because a friend said nighttime is better. Research shows the big bedtime debate is more complicated than social media makes it sound. The Hygia chronotherapy trial, published in 2020, reported large reductions in cardiovascular events with bedtime dosing. But later, large trials did not confirm that dramatic benefit. The 2022 time trial followed more than 21,000 patients for a median of 5.2 years and found no significant difference in heart attack, stroke, or vascular death between morning and evening dosing. Here's the hidden disaster. Some people hear one headline and move every pill at once. The fourth trap is ignoring over-the-counter medicines and habits that push pressure up. Here's what happens when pain relievers, like some NSAIDs, are used often in older adults. The body can hold on to more fluid, the kidneys work harder, and blood pressure can creep upward. Add salty packaged foods, poor sleep, or late alcohol, and the pressure pattern gets even worse. What they don't tell you is that timing works best only when the rest of the routine is not silently destroying the result. Comment, "I'm guilty," if you've been doing any of these. Don't worry, you're about to learn how to fix it. Let me tell you about Harold, age 68. He never missed his medication, but he took it whenever he remembered. Some days it was with breakfast. Some days it was after lunch. He used ibuprofen for knee pain and ate canned soup most evenings. His blood pressure log looked like a roller coaster. He felt discouraged because he thought the medicine had failed him. Once he set one fixed dose time, reviewed his pain medicine with his doctor, and cut back packaged soups, his readings steadied within 3 weeks. He told me the best part was not the number. It was feeling in control again. Now let's get to the solutions. And I'm counting down because the final one ties everything together. Number 5, take your medication at the same time every day. Do you know what happens when you build a fixed medication routine? Your body sees a more predictable level of medicine across the day and night. That reduces random peaks and valleys. Here's what happens when the timing is steady. Your blood pressure control becomes easier to judge, side effects become easier to spot, and your doctor gets cleaner information. The benefits are simple and powerful. First, you improve adherence because habit beats memory. Second, you reduce the risk of accidental double dosing. Third, you make home readings more meaningful. Fourth, you lower the chance of confusing timing problems with medication failure. Research shows the AHA review in 2023 concluded that unless the goal is specifically to lower nighttime blood pressure, people should take antihypertensive medicine at a time that is convenient, improves adherence, and minimizes unwanted effects. That message matters because evening dosing often had worse adherence in some studies. Practical application is easy. Tie your pill to one daily anchor, like brushing your teeth, breakfast, or placing your phone on the charger. Use one alarm. Use one pill box. Keep a simple written log. What should you expect? Within 1 to 2 weeks, missed doses usually fall, and your readings often become less erratic. Comment fixed routine if this is the first change you plan to make. Number 4. Know whether your pill is a water pill or a long-acting non-diuretic. Here's what happens when you match timing to the type of medicine instead of using a one-size-fits-all rule. You avoid unnecessary nighttime bathroom trips while still protecting your higher-risk hours. Diuretics often fit better earlier in the day. Many long-acting ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or calcium channel blockers may be taken in the evening if your clinician agrees that this suits your pattern and safety needs. Research shows the National Institute on Aging advises taking blood pressure medicine at the same time each day and warns people to get up slowly to reduce lightheadedness and falls. Cleveland Clinic experts also note that current evidence does not support routine bedtime dosing for everyone, but the choice should be individualized. Here's the practical step. Read the label, know the class, and ask your pharmacist, is this a diuretic? And is there any reason it should stay in the morning? What should you expect? Better sleep if a late diuretic was the problem, or smoother morning control if a supervised evening shift fits your medicine. Let me tell you about Susan, age 76. She moved all her pills to bedtime after hearing that night was the secret. Within days, she was up 3 times a night because one of those pills was a diuretic. She felt dizzy in the bathroom and nearly fell. She was frustrated and scared. Once we separated the diuretic to the morning and kept her long-acting ARB at night under her clinician's plan, the bathroom trips dropped from 3 to 1 and she stopped fearing bedtime. Within 10 days, she was sleeping better and walking steadier. Number 3. Measure your blood pressure at home, especially if mornings feel worse. Here's what happens when you stop relying only on office readings. Hidden patterns become visible. A clinic number at 1 p.m. may miss a morning surge, nighttime problem, or timing gap. Home readings give context. They show whether symptoms match the numbers or not. The benefits stack up fast. You and your doctor can see trends, not guesses. You can compare morning and evening readings. You can spot dizziness that may come from low pressure, not high pressure. Research shows home monitoring improves blood pressure control, and the CDC still reports that only about 1 in 4 adults with hypertension have it controlled. A 2025 JAMA trial from West China Hospital called OMAN randomized 720 patients and found bedtime dosing improved nighttime systolic control and circadian rhythm without more nocturnal hypotension. That does not mean everyone should switch, but it shows why measuring patterns matters. Use a validated upper arm cuff. Sit quietly for 5 minutes. Take 2 readings, 1 minute apart, and write down the time. Measure for several days before your appointment. What should you expect? Often, within a week, the pattern becomes clearer. Stay with me because the next one will surprise you. Comment home monitor if you already have a cuff. Number 2. Ask your clinician whether bedtime dosing is right for your specific medication and pattern. Here's what happens when bedtime dosing is appropriate. Medicine may be working more strongly during sleep and the early morning rise. For some patients, that helps nighttime control and blunts the rough start to the day. But here's the shocking part. The safest answer is not based on a trend online. It is based on your medication class, fall risk, glaucoma concerns, kidney status, and whether you will actually remember the dose. Research shows the time trial found no cardiovascular advantage overall for evening dosing, but it also did not find more falls or fractures. Research shows the 2025 BedMed trial in Canada randomized 3,357 adults, median age 67, and found bedtime dosing was safe but did not reduce cardiovascular risk compared with morning dosing. Research shows the BedMed Frail trial included 776 much older adults with a median age of 88, and likewise found no major cardiovascular advantage for bedtime dosing. That is why I do not tell every senior to switch tonight. The practical move is to bring a week of home readings and ask, could my morning symptoms mean my medicine timing needs adjustment? If your clinician agrees, shift only as directed and monitor carefully. What should you expect? If timing was part of the problem, some people notice easier mornings within days to 2 weeks. Before I reveal the #1 solution, which of these surprised you most? Comment below. Let me tell you about James, age 81. He had respectable office readings, yet he woke with pounding in his chest and tightness in the back of his neck. His daughter worried he was heading toward a stroke. He had become anxious, and that anxiety kept feeding the cycle. After a week of home readings, we saw a pattern: high on waking, lower later, no diuretic involved, and excellent adherence. His prescriber approved moving one long-acting pill to bedtime. In 3 weeks, his morning systolic average fell by 14 points. He was back to making breakfast for his wife, and the fear on her face finally softened. #1, build a full evening and morning routine that supports the medicine instead of fighting it. Here's what happens when your medication timing works together with lower salt, better sleep, fewer late stimulants, and smarter pain medicine use. The medicine finally gets help. Pressure comes down more smoothly. Sleep gets less interrupted. Mornings feel less like an ambush. The benefits go beyond one reading. Better sleep supports a healthier nighttime dip. Lower sodium reduces fluid burden. Reviewing NSAID use protects kidney function and blood pressure control. Moderate movement improves vessel flexibility. Research shows lifestyle still matters because pills do not cancel a damaging routine. Practical application is straightforward. Keep late meals lighter, reduce salty packaged foods, limit alcohol close to bedtime, ask about safer pain options, and keep a regular sleep schedule. What should you expect? Often the first signs are fewer headaches, steadier energy, and less morning pounding before you ever see your best numbers. Here's what makes this powerful. These steps work together. A fixed dose time improves adherence. Matching the drug class improves comfort and safety. Home monitoring reveals the pattern. A supervised timing change targets the real problem. Sleep and food choices stop sabotaging the whole plan. The effect is not magic. It is additive. For breakfast, one useful example is oatmeal with berries, plain yogurt, and your morning medicine if that is where it belongs. This works because it is low in sodium, easy on the stomach, and supports a stable routine. For lunch, try a big salad with beans, olive oil, and grilled chicken. That helps because potassium-rich foods and lower sodium intake support better pressure control through the afternoon. For dinner or evening, choose baked salmon, vegetables, and brown rice. And if your clinician approved bedtime dosing for a non-diuretic, take it with your evening routine, not with a large salty snack. Comment dinner routine if evenings are your hardest time. Now, a few safety warnings. Always consult your healthcare provider if you have glaucoma, repeated falls, advanced kidney disease, very low blood pressure episodes, or dizziness on standing. If you take several blood pressure drugs, Ask before changing even one schedule. Never double a dose because you forgot earlier. Do not stop beta blockers abruptly. Tell your clinician about supplements, cold medicines, and pain relievers. And if you ever have chest pain, stroke symptoms, fainting, or severe shortness of breath, seek urgent care right away. You now have the knowledge many people never get. The main problem is not simply forgetting your blood pressure pill, it is assuming timing never matters. Today, we covered the biggest mistakes, the reasons some people do better with individualized timing, and why the safest secret is not bedtime for all. It is the right pill at the right time for the right person, taken consistently. This is in your control. You do not have to accept rough mornings, mystery headaches, or confusing readings as an unavoidable part of aging. Start with the simple steps. Know your pill type. Take it consistently. Measure your pressure at home. Bring the pattern to your clinician. That is how smart care works. Comment one of three things: morning symptoms, bedtime question, or fixed routine. If you want more clear, research-based senior health guidance, subscribe now, because on this channel I turn complex medical confusion into practical daily action. In my next video, I'll show you the overlooked foods that can quietly push blood pressure up after 60. Don't miss it, because one of them is sitting in many kitchens right now. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs this information. You might save their life. And remember, I'm Dr. Alina Sarachia, and your next healthy decade can start with one smart question asked at the right time.